All right, so I am at a garage sale now and I have to record this or no one's gonna believe me that I found this. So you can see here that these are $3 a piece. There's DVDs and there's VHSs. A lot of times people look past the VHSs, but for certain titles and for certain sealed copies, you should definitely look into it, especially Goosebumps. This one, Welcome to Dead House, you could see here on the bottom it says not for rental or sale. So this was a harder one to get. So it is dated 1997. One of these sold sealed, and being sealed is the key, for $150. Right now, the only sealed one available is $200 plus shipping with 12 watchers. So I am definitely picking this one up for $3. All right, now the one that's on eBay that's sealed with 12 watchers for $200 plus shipping, that includes this sealed tape plus one that is not sealed. So that's good for a collector because they could display the sealed one and then they could watch the other one. Obviously, you're going to ruin the collectability of this if you open it up to watch it. But there is a market out there for someone who just wants the sealed one. So what will I price it at? I know one sold for $150 that was just a sealed one. So given the other one that's on the market that has a little bit of extra value with that unsealed one thrown in as well, I think I'll price this one at $175 and see what happens. All right, now I don't always film every item that I pick up at a garage sale, but right before I picked up the Goosebumps tape, I had picked up this really cool old vintage sign. You know I love to get these vintage signs. This one here, Only Loving Beats Tennis. Cool sign. People love angels, people love tennis, so this one combines them both together. This one dates to 1975, as you could see there. It's a nice vintage sign. It's not a reproduction. One of the ways you could tell that is just from the overall look and feel of it, but you could also see there's a nice old vintage price tag that's partly peeled off. So I was able to pick it up for $2. These always sell for me every time I get a sign like this. And you could always tell them because they've got this little kind of like a half circle hook on top and a little slat on the back. So you could hang it either way. It's really cool for a collector. So if you know anyone who loves tennis, send them to the Primetime Treasure eBay store because this one is going to be listed ASAP. Well, that did not take long. In less than 24 hours, this sold for $175 on eBay. Full asking price. You know, one of the things that helps with this, in addition to being sealed and in excellent condition, is that this is based off of the first ever Goosebumps story that was ever written. You could see that here. It says based on book 1, which was called Welcome to Dead House. So another thing about Goosebumps, and I've showed this in estate sale videos before, is if you see a lot of Goosebumps books, pick them up because you could really make a lot of money selling those as well. So, and you could usually get them pretty cheap in a bulk purchase at a blowout sale like that. So I've shown that here on the channel before with the books, but this is the first time showing it here on the channel with the VHS tape. And in general, I would just say look for Goosebumps promotional items, any kind of merchandise associated with it. You never know, you might find a gem there. So it's always an indication to look a little deeper. So speaking of looking a little deeper, let's head over to the flea market and see what treasures we could find over there. All right, folks, it is another day at the flea market and I'm over at this big pile of stuff and I saw something that I just have to grab. Look at this thing. Talk about weird and scary. I mean, this thing really stands out. So we are going to pick this up. It would be perfect to scare Mrs. Primetime with, actually. Anything devilish like this, multicolored, just a weird combo of colors, like the green curly hair in the back. This thing is really freaky. It is a rubber mask. It's just really cool. So it has the, let's see, does this work? Oh, something electronic associated with it too. I'm not sure what it's supposed to do. That's interesting. So let's see if we push on it, see if it does anything here. It's supposed to make some kind of voice noise, but I don't even think it matters if the voice noise works or not, because I think someone would just want to wear this just for the scare aspect of it. So yeah, we're gonna get it just for that anyway. I don't even care if the noise thing works. How weird is this thing? All right, so here is something in the middle of this flea market pile that most people are going to pass up. And I've talked about this before, but vintage soaps do very well. And this is not one of the more well-known brands, but there were people who used this in the 1980s who love it and would love to get this back into their bathrooms, and it's the Liquaphor skin cleaning system. Let me know if any one of you ever used these in the comment section. I'd be really curious. Now you might be wondering how much something like this could be worth. Well, 12 of these sold on eBay for $90, and this is not going to cost much at all. They're just going to want to blow this out. So 12 sold for $90. I would definitely lot this together in a big bulk lot. So let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So about 20 we have. So, all right. So we're going to add these into my box over here. And this will be a really good flea market buy. All right, well, this is one I pulled right off of the truck. This is a really cool piece. If you've watched my channel before, you know that I love picking up these vintage waste baskets. And this is a really cool one because this one's made of brass. It's a brass coat of arms waste basket. Check this thing out. It's a great size because this is really easy to ship. And this one has sold on eBay for $50 approximately before. So this is a real easy decision to pick this one up, and we'll add this to the flea market box. All right, so I wound up getting all 20 bars of vintage soap, the brass waste basket, and the scary demon mask for a grand total of $45. So originally the guy actually wanted $2 per bar of soap. I thought he was going to want to blow it out for less than that, but I wound up getting a little bit of a bulk deal because that would have been $40. And then, you know, we've got the waste basket and the mask. So my plan is to get most of my money back with the or all my money back with the waste basket sale, hoping that sells for around $50. And I might price it up a little bit more than that. We'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to price this at, but the reason why I went for the deal is that at a rate of 12 bars of soap selling for $90, I'm going to price 20 bars of soap for $150. So the intent is that this will really be my money maker right here, and maybe a little bit extra with the mask. So that's how you have to do it sometimes, but overall I'm happy with the deal. And don't pass up on the vintage soaps. They always sell. All right, well, speaking of masks, this is a really cool wooden mask. El Diablo right there. It's a demonic mask. You can see here the cost is $12. This was made in the Philippines. Now there's a pair of these wood masks that's sold for $130. It looks very similar. I believe it was made by the same crafter because it had the same type of triangular rivets inside, but the teeth were sharper on the ones that sold for $130. But I'm still thinking that I've got to be able to do well on this for $12. I'd probably get it for 10. I know the I know the dealer, so we'll see. We'll see if I can do that. Let's see, $10. Would you do $10 on this one?
10 10, yes.
Yeah, all right, great, sold. All right, we'll see what we could do with this, but yeah, I think that's a good buy. So be on the lookout for these wood demonic masks. I did a little bit more research into this mask. Now, it turns out that this mask was made by a company called Fun World. And I know that because there's a really tiny label on the inside. It's so easy to miss, especially with all this green hair, but it's really, really tiny right there. And it says Fun World on it. And it turns out that there's actually a segment of collectors that go after these vintage Fun World masks. And the demon mask, there's different types of them, but they are popular. I found one that sold for close to $50. Now, it turns out that they were not supposed to have that contraption that was stapled on the inside with the little push button. That didn't work. So I just took it out because I figured it was just going to be a nuisance and it was going to hinder a potential sale. So you could see it's gone now, took it out. And I'm gonna list this for 50 bucks. And I think that I could get close to that. So if not the $50. So be on the lookout for scary masks like this, these vintage monster masks. You know I love all things monster related. But you just never know what you're gonna see on this channel. So we'll see what we can do with this, and maybe I'll give you an update in the future. You know, we were talking in a recent video about insert posters that used to hang in the movie theater lobbies. And this is a great example of one right here that I sourced at an estate sale. You may remember this one. Now, this is the Kelly's Heroes insert poster from 1970. It's 36 by 14 inches. And you could see so many famous actors in this one. We've got Clint Eastwood, Telly Savalas right there. We've got Don Rickles. We've got Donald Sutherland. Carol O'Connor is in this movie as well. This insert poster, which I did not pay much money for at all. I'll link to the video. You could see how much I sourced it for. But this just sold for $145. And people left it there. I guarantee you the reason why people left it there is because there were creases along one of the, actually a couple of the faces there. There's some color breaking creases here. There's a crease along the middle, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. People are going to look past some of those things when it's such an amazing poster with so many cool characters on it. They'll picture it in a frame. When it's in the frame, you will not notice the creases as much. It tends to cover some of that up, and it just still looks so cool. It's so patriotic. It's, you know, military movie. It just screams nostalgia. And so for that reason, it's still sold for the $145. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, if it didn't have these, you know, flaws on it, it would have sold for more. So it does affect value, but, you know, don't always pass things up. It, you know, if it has some creases on it, it depends on what it is. Now, if it's a relatively, you know, recent, overproduced, cheap movie poster, it has a lot of damage on it, you know, then yeah, it doesn't make sense to source it. But something like this, absolutely go for it. All right, well, here we go with another poster update. Remember when I sourced this Little Shop of Horrors, a New York City off-Broadway poster for $10 at the flea market? Well, it just sold for $90. That's not good enough. If you remember, there was also a second one. And I have just listed this one. I listed this one for $85 because it has a little more damage to it. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy. Just goes to show, look for those posters. Like I always say, you could just do so well with posters. All right, as a follow-up to the Olivia Newton-John items that I picked up at the flea market for $10, it was mostly a lot of songbooks. I showed you previously that I sold one of the Xanadu songbooks for $250. And then I sold another one. I had 2 copies of it. I sold another one for $250. So right there, that's $500 on 2 books. That is just part of the lot that I got at the flea market. Now, I showed this in a prior video, but it hadn't sold yet until today. But this is the Olivia Newton-John physical songbook. This one just sold for $95 today. Folks, when it's all said and done, I'm going to make close to $1,000 on a $10 purchase at the flea market. It's absolutely insane. There's other ones that I've sold too, but you know, these are just some of the examples of it. So it just goes to show, if you see Olivia Newton-John songbooks out there, my goodness, pick them up because you could do really, really well. All right, everyone. Well, we are going to head back over to Funko Pop land. And one of the keys with Funko Pops is knowing which characters and which series people are willing to pay up for. After all, that's what pop stands for, is pop culture. So which of the pop culture items are the more popular ones? And one of the characters you want to be on the lookout for is Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games. Very popular in terms of a movie series and also a book series. This one right here, where she is the Mockingjay, just sold for $77.50. I sold another Katniss Everdeen the other day where she's the Girl of Fire. That one sold for $42.50. So that's $120 on just 2 Funko Pop sales. And then I have a regular Katniss Everdeen right here as well. You could also see President Snow from the Hunger Games. Now, President Snow, not worth as much as Katniss Everdeen. So it's not just the series in and of itself, it's the interaction of the series with the character. So anyway, be on the lookout because these are good ones to source. Well, look who we have here. Oh, she jumped down to the arm of the chair, and look who got a haircut. She's got that little new pink polka dot bow tie in her hair, but she jumped over here because I brought a snack over for her. Her favorite, whoa, you don't want to fall down, Daisy. There you go. There's your favorite, your snack. Where are you going to go with it? There's Santa Claus. She loves Santa Claus. Even at the start of the summer, Daisy loves Santa because she gets so spoiled. But look how her tail shows much better when she gets that haircut. It really cracks me up. Where you going, Daisy? Daisy loves lounging over here. We also, I'm going to put a picture, probably by the time this video comes out, I probably put it on my posts part of the YouTube channel so you could see little pictures I put up during the week, usually of Daisy, but we put a chair over here and she loves hanging out in the chair sometimes, so she just looks funny anywhere she goes. Anyway, everyone, I hope you liked the video. What an incredible and crazy, I think I created a new word, in crazy. What an crazy find with that VHS tape, huh? Well, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Hope you got some good ideas and stuff. And make sure you say hello to Daisy. And let me know what your favorite item was that I found. I think a lot of people will probably say the VHS tape or your favorite item that I showed a sale for. So thanks a lot, everyone. Daisy and I will see you back at the next one. Take care.